do this.
Coach, you guys are, atop the Big 12 in forcing turnovers with 8. Just what are your thoughts on the production through the first 3 games and the effort?
The kids done a good job, but doesn't surprise me. They do it in practice. All spring and all two-a-days, I thought they did a nice job trying to rip and punch and do all the things you have to do to create fumbles. And, our offense did a great job, knock on wood, all through spring, all through training camp. And, the truth is all 3 of the teams we played, in my opinion, are very well coached, very disciplined football teams. So to come away with 8, it's pretty good.
Coach, could you talk about the second half or even the game on Saturday, only giving up 3 points and the effort that your kids put in?
They played hard the whole game. Obviously, the way the first half went, they had a few more possessions than they did in the second half. We can twist the statistics any way we want to. But they played hard against a good football team who was fighting for their life. And, they never got discouraged, even though they were beating us up pretty good. Tried to maintain gap control, which was hard against those guys. They're so big and strong. And running back, I told you, he's an NFL guy. But the kids competed, and I was proud of them.
What do you think it's been about that third quarter defense that's only allowed 3 points all season so far?
Luck.
Adjustments?
No adjustments. We play the same defense in the second half that we do in the first half. I think the kids kind of get a feel for the game and realize that we're not going to make adjustments. But it's like I told y'all from day one that I've been here, we'll keep playing the same technique, fundamentals, and defenses, and they'll continue to get better at them. Obviously, the teams you play attack you differently each and every week, and I'm not sure we're mature enough or understand enough to be able to adjust and adapt quicker. But coach is doing a great job on the sideline during the game making adjustments. So therefore, halftime adjustments are already pretty much made before you go in at halftime. But you can twist it how you want to.
What do you think about Ja'Shawn Johnson, obviously being named Big 12 Player of the Month?
Awesome, he got run over about 10 of his 15 tackles. He probably got run over, but he held on. He played hard. He's a good young player. He'll continue to develop and get better. He's all over the place, but he happened to be in the right place the other night.
What's the key to slowing down the TCU offense?
Holding the ball for about 45 minutes, which I know is not going to happen. No, they're amazing. Got our hands full again. Last time we played a spread offense, we were terrible. So we'll see what happens Saturday.
Questions?
I'm guessing on Jakeem's touchdown pass that Devin is going to be playing much more left tackle. Is he?
No. We ran that play against them last year, exact same play. Jakeem just ran. We ran it twice against them. Same play we scored on the first touchdown of the year. And so they'd seen it a couple times and thought we could get them to drive out there. And Jakeem threw a great ball, didn't he? Nice tight spiral and on the money. So pretty fun. He's about 50% in practice last week, and it was pretty exciting when he hit it.
Did he throw it all in pregame or anything? That was cold, right?
Yeah, we have him warm up on the sideline with the quarterbacks in between drives a couple times, just nonchalant, over there. And him and Davis would alternate who was throwing it back to Pat, so try to make it look not very obvious.
What's the plan for Saturday?
Yeah, just keep executing. We're going to have to put a lot of plays together, and our drives have been pretty efficient. I think we only had 9 drives last week, which is crazy, 58 plays or something, and we're extremely efficient. I think we averaged almost 9 yards a play, and that's with that long drive that we had there at the end. I think we got the ball back with 8 minutes, and that was the biggest drive of the game in my opinion. That's something we've struggled with in the past, is kind of being able to run it, milk a little clock. So we're a little unorthodox in what we did. I mean, we ran some speed sweeps and stuff. We didn't think we could line up and get in big sets and play power football with them. Kind of use our strengths to our advantage. And we got that challenge, which was huge in my opinion. Won us the game kind of there at the end. It allowed us to get about 3 or 4 more minutes off the clock. So proud of the way they finished. And we had a lot of just routine plays that we made over and over. So we're gonna have to do the same thing this week.
You said that Like you said, y'all have only gotten, 60 plays or so the last 2 weeks in a row, so I guess how much more comfortable is that knowing y'all probably get 85, 90 or more again this week, like you did the first week?
Yeah, I think it could be good and it could be bad too. I mean, it could go both ways. We just have to not squander any opportunities that we get. We got to take every one of them seriously. And we scored on 5 of the 9 with a missed field goal. If we're trying to run plays down there, you feel good about 6 of the 9 drives we had. Only 1 3 and out. Didn't punt the whole entire game, which is good. Some of those interceptions were equivalent to punts, but happy where the guys competed. I thought we blocked on the perimeter better than we have since we've been here. Guys are kind of starting to play for each other, and which is really good to see.
Speaking of, how good was it to see Reg Davis have a day like you got to have last Saturday?
Yeah, a lot of fun. He's kind of been up and down the past, ever since the Holiday Bowl, and had a great Holiday Bowl, and then everybody expected huge things from him. Had a good off season, and then not as big a year last year is what we wanted. And first couple games, same thing, up and down. He's made some big plays, and then he's had a couple things here and there. Wish he could have back, but really proud of him. Did a good job. Played really strong. We wanted to get the ball quick to him. We thought we had a matchup with some of their corners, just letting him go one-on-one. We didn't block him 3 or 4 times and just say, hey, let that one-on-one matchup. And I thought he played strong, and we challenged him all week. He stepped up to it and did really well.
So you became